In part 28, we left off here where Chris had told Nicole that he was not wanting to talk about his wife and kids being missing anymore. And so we're going to be going straight into part 29. And this is going to be the CBI property and evidence form. This is where Nicole Kessinger actually turned over her Apple iPhone 6 to Detective Baumover. And this was done 8/23/18, and it says that her phone was put into a temporary locker number 1, and moving on through it. This is a supplemental report of no property, and this is going to be Samantha Paisley. It's going to be a witness. As we know, she is one of Shanann's friends. Jeremy Lindstrom, a witness. And as we know, that is the Watts family friend. And it reads on 9/5/2018 at approximately 18:45 hours, and that's going to be 6:45 p.m. I spoke with Samantha Paisley on the phone. Samantha, who I spoke with on August the 13th, was a friend of Shanann's. Samantha provided me with her address. Samantha expressed concern about her information becoming public and advised when the affidavit was released, she, her kids, and husband were contacted by the media. On September the 5th, at approximately 9:28 a.m., Officer Coonrod was dispatched to a follow-up at Frederick Police Department referencing Jeremy Lindstrom returning my call. Information in the CAD notes indicated his date of birth and address. I printed the CAD call information and requested it be added to the case file. No further information. Okay, moving on down. This is just going to be the notes of Sam Paisley and her address, and then this is going to be notes from a follow-up call from Jeremy Lindstrom and his address. And this is going to be a witness, Christopher Rusk, and the employer name is Loma Ford, and this was done on September the 6th. The contact information for Christopher Rusk, a former acquaintance of both Shanann and Chris, whom I spoke with over the phone, was not included in a supplement report I completed back on August the 18th. His contact information is included in this report. Nothing further at this time, Sergeant Albert. Okay, and then this is going to be a supplement report for witness Sandra Rusek. She is the parent or guardian. Of course, we know that is Shanann's mother. And it says, I completed a supplement report after speaking with Sandra Rusek, the mother of Shanann Watts, back via phone on August the 16th. However, I did not include her contact information in that report. Sandra's information has been added to this supplemental report. And then this is another supplemental report from Catherine Lyons. And this is going to be September the 9th, 2018. After reviewing my report, I noticed that in supplement report number 13, I stated that I did report for duty on August the 16th, Wednesday. The correct date was Wednesday, August the 15th. Nothing further. Kathleen Lyons. Okay, and then moving on down, this is going to be another supplement report. Frederick Police Department, done on September the 9th. It reads, the following information was documented at the time it was gathered. The date of this report is not indicative of when the investigations occurred. On August the 14th at approximately 5:45 a.m., I read an email from Sergeant Bakes advising Shanann and the girls were still missing and there were no leads to their whereabouts. Shortly before 7 a.m., I arrived at my office and began drafting a missing person bolo. Be on the lookout for a press release. At approximately 8 a.m., Commander Egan arrived, and I advised him of the circumstances surrounding the case and expressed the need for additional resources and to make their disappearances publicly known in an effort to generate leads. Shortly thereafter, Commander Egan established an incident command center located at the Frederick Police Department Department and Sergeant Bedsaw released the missing persons bolo information I provided him. Later that morning, I received a call from Jillian Ganley, CBI, who stated she saw our press release and asked if I considered initiating a missing persons alert through CBI. I thanked her for calling and informed her I had not yet been able to indicate a request for assistance and asked if she could, in addition to generating an alert. Ganley agreed to relay my assistance request, and I provided her the specifics of the case. Later, Ganley called to inform me agents were en route to assist in the investigation. Once CBI and FBI agents had arrived at the Frederick Police Department, I briefed them and advised what we had accomplished to that point, which was initial interviews of Watts and Shenan's noted friends and colleagues, multiple searches of the Watts residence and surrounding area, searching Shenan's cell phone, and initiating a press release and a canine search. As CBI agents began working on background checks and identifying leads, FBI agent Coder and I discussed conducting a formal interview with Watts because I believe Watts would provide me the same information he did the previous day of 8/13/18, and I asked Agent Coder to interview him. At approximately 1846 hours, which is 6:46 p.m., I contacted Watts via phone and asked him if he would be open to another interview at the police department. He said he would and arrived later that evening at approximately 2000 hours, and that would be 8 p.m. Upon Watts' arrival, I introduced him to Agent Coder and informed him I had requested assistance from outside agencies to assist us in locating Shanann and the girls. Watts acknowledged this and agreed to speak with Agent Coder. Refer to Agent Coder's report for specifics regarding the interview. At approximately 2300 hours, and that would be 11 p.m., I briefly met with Watts. I thanked him for cooperating with the interview and informed him of a possible sighting of Shanann and the girls had been reported earlier. I showed Watts Walmart surveillance system photos Officer James obtained from the Walmart located on Ken Pratt Boulevard. The photos are of an adult female and 2 female juveniles within the store. I asked Watts if he thought it may be Shanann and the girls. Watts confirmed it was not them and departed the police department shortly thereafter. It should be noted that Watts agreed to return the following day of 8/15/2018. On 8/15 of 2018 at approximately 6 a.m., I responded directly to 2825 Saratoga Trail to conduct a consensual search of the residence. It should be noted the search was scheduled the previous evening and Watts provided consent at that time. I met with Officer Perez, who was assigned to maintain security of the residence, as Watts stayed the night at a friend's house. Shortly thereafter, I was met with Officer Walgie, CBI agent Matt Saylor, and crime scene analysis Dave Yoakum. I was present for only the initial part of the search, as I was called back to the police department to address a separate issue. Prior to leaving the residence, I was able to observe the discovery of bed sheets that were located in a kitchen trash can. As the bed sheets were removed from the trash, I noted the bottom fitted sheet was missing, and at least one pillowcase had some type of dark residue upon it. The residue contained what appeared to be glitter. At approximately 1100 hours, or 11 a.m., Watts arrived at the Frederick Police Department for an additional interview and to undergo a polygraph exam administered by CBI Agent Lee. After the polygraph concluded, Agents Lee and Coder met with Watts again at approximately 1600 hours to advise him the results of the polygraph test indicated he was deceptive and asked that he speak the truth about what happened to Shanann and the girls. And 1600 hours would be at around 4 p.m. Watts continued to deny knowing anything about their disappearance, but admitted to having an affair with Nicole, Nikki Kessinger. At one point, Agent Lee asked Chris if Shanann did something to the girls that caused him to do something to her. Chris continued to deny any involvement, but eventually asked to speak with his father, who was present at the police department. When Chris's father, Ronnie Watts, entered the interview room, Chris told him he failed the polygraph test and that he admitted to having an affair. Chris ultimately explained the events that occurred on the morning of 8/13 to Ronnie and described how Shanann killed their daughters, which drove him into a rage, causing him to kill her. Prior to Watts disclosing the events surrounding their deaths and the location of their bodies, Firestone police investigators located via a drone equipped with a camera the missing fitted bed sheet and 2 black plastic bags in a field close to the Survey 319 oil tank site. They also discovered an area of freshly moved dirt near the cleared driveway area of the site. So see, it does say prior to Chris disclosing the events surrounding their deaths and the location of the bodies, the investigators had already located, with the drones and the camera, plastic bags and the bed sheet and the freshly moved dirt, which was Shanann's shallow grave. So they had already found all of that and already knew about all of that before Chris ever told about their deaths or even the location of their bodies. So they already knew before he confessed. Based on the information obtained from the interview, I began drafting search warrants and affidavits for the Watts residence and the oil tank site named Survey 319. Once completed the documents, I provided a copy of the residence search warrant to Officer Walgie, who was assigned to conduct the search of the residence. Overnight, scene security for Survey 319 had not yet been established. As a result, I self-assigned the task and collected some personal items and responded to the oil site with a copy of the search warrant. While en route, I received a call from Chief Deputy Coroner Jolene Joy Weiner advising me Shanann's body had been located. Upon arrival, I met with Joy and ultimately assigned her in extracting Shanann's remains from the shallow grave Chris identified during his interview with Agents Lee and Coder. During the extraction, Joy and I bagged Shanann's hands and also placed a clean sheet at the bottom of the cadaver bag in an attempt to preserve any evidence that may have been present but not visible at the time. Due to decomposition, it was difficult to recognize the body from photographs, but it was presumed based on Chris's admission. Joy took custody of Shanann's body shortly after midnight on 8/16/18. On scene, I met with CBI crime scene analyst Dave Yoakum and took custody of the evidence he collected from the scene on 8/15 prior to my arrival. I signed the chain of custody forms and photographed them. Yoakum later provided a PDF copies of the documents. I remained on site as scene security, nothing further. And let it be noted that, in case you couldn't fully understand all of that, Detective Balmover actually assigned himself to sit at Survey 319 all night that night after they recovered Shanann. He said he sat there because he did not want the girls to be there alone. That's pretty deep. That's very deep that he done that. He sat there on scene because he didn't want the girls to be there alone in those tanks. So he self-assigned himself to sit there with them all night. That says a lot. And in case some of you may not know, Detective Balmover, after this case, he did get, he has PTSD, and he had to take a leave from his job because this case affected him that bad. I can only imagine the thoughts that went through his head sitting there that night watching over those tanks, because he didn't want the girls to be out there alone because, you know, their mother had been taken away. It's just chilling, heartbreaking, and surreal. But this is real. Okay, going on down, this is another supplemental report. No property. On September the 9th, Detective Baumhover requested that I upload the images and videos I took on my department-issued cell phone while at Walmart on 8/14. The video and images were of an adult female and 2 juvenile females that a citizen believed were Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. I also took screenshots of the text messages Detective Baumhover and I exchanged while I was at Walmart. The photos, videos, and text messages were uploaded to the evidence room. Now those were obviously not Shanann and the girls. At the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you the little video and the photos just because it is part of the autopsy. Just because it is part of the discovery, and we have just read that part, and it is included in the discovery, and that's what we're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and put them here at the end of this video because they do go together. Okay, but it is not them, of course. Amanda Purcell, supplemental report, September the 11th. It should be noted that on September the 4th, while running through the evidence submission list with Lab Tech Patricia Lopez, several items were listed that the CBI lab ultimately did not wish to take possession of at that time. Those items are crossed out on the evidence submission form, which has been added to the case file. The refused items are as follows: oral swabs from Celeste, control swabs from Celeste, oral from Bella, left palm swab from Bella, right palm swab from Bella, control swab from Bella, right palm swab from Shanann, left palm swab from Shanann, control swabs from Shanann, driver's side seat cover from the work truck, tray slip from the center console, and tray slip from the back seat driver's side. The items that were not taken by CBI were transported back to the Frederick Police Department and checked into evidence. So I guess this is part of the evidence that was taken from the investigation that were refused, and they did not want to take, the CBI lab did not want to take possession of, for whatever reasons, I don't know. Okay, and this is the CBI request for lab examination. Suspect Chris, victim Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. And this is going to be pillowcase with residue, pillowcase, top sheet with residue, blue nitrile glove, black plastic bag, gray and white bed sheet. And this is inventory of items submitted continued. It says repackaged in box, the rake head, rake handle, suspected hair from the east oil tank partial rake handle, face swabs from Celeste before cleaning, repackaged in a paper bag, face swabs from Celeste after cleaning, also repackaged in a paper bag, anterior neck swabs of Celeste before and after cleaning, it was repackaged, vaginal swabs from Celeste repackaged. Okay, the control swabs are marked out because I think that was one of the things they didn't want. Face swabs from Bella before and after cleaning. Anterior neck swabs from Bella before and after cleaning. Vaginal swabs from Bella. Okay, the palm swabs were marked out. And oral swabs marked out of things I'm assuming that they did not want to keep. Left hand nail clippings from Bella, right hand nail clippings from Bella. And this continues. Marked out was the control swab of Bella. DNA card. Blue thong underwear. Purple and white shirt. Right hand and left hand nail clippings from Shanann. And the right hand palm swabs were marked out. Left hand palm swabs are marked out. Face swabs. Anterior neck swabs, Shanann. Control swabs are marked out. Fingerprints of Shanann. anterior neck swabs brushing and after cleaning. Also marked out driver's side seat cover from the work truck. Passenger side seat cover from work truck is not marked out. Roll of black trash bags. Trace lift from the center console is marked out. Trace lift from the back seat driver's side is marked out. Trace lift from the back seat passenger side. Okay, moving on down. Supplement report, no property. Officer Dave Baumhofer, September the 12th. The following information was documented at the time it was gathered. The date of this report is not indicative of when the investigation occurred. On 8/16, I was already on scene at the Survey 319 oil tank as I arrived the previous evening and remained there overnight as scene security. At 10 a.m., personnel from the CBI, FBI, and CSP Weld County Coroner's Office and the Wiggins Fire Department arrived on scene. Also on scene was Brett S., Anadarko Production Supervisor, Anadarko Safety Personnel, and a subcontracted crew from DT Welding employed by Anadarko. Refer to signature list, complete list of names. A grid search was performed around the premises of the oil tank site, which led to the discovery of a third piece of the rake that was recovered the previous evening. I took custody of the rake piece as evidence from CBI crime scene analyst Dave Yoakum and secured it in my vehicle with the other evidence. Subsequent to a safety and operational briefing by Brett S., Anadarko personnel began evacuating the oil from the east holding tank. The oil was allowed to slowly flow into a large catch pan at the base of the tank. A hose attached to a vacuum truck was placed in the catch pan, which evacuated the oil through a metal strainer with holes approximately 5/8 inch in diameter. The strainer was put in place to prevent the loss of potential evidence. Brett S. reported the east oil tank level was approximately 9 feet from the ground, which equates to 188 barrels, 7,926 gallons of crude, and the west tank oil levels was approximately 1.4 feet, which equated to 28 barrels, 1,192 gallons of crude. The oil tanks are 12 feet in diameter and 20 feet tall. It should be noted the actual amount of oil removed and tank dimensions were provided to me by Anadarko Field Foreman Luke Epple. The thief hatch opening located at the top of each tank is approximately 8 inches in diameter. This dimension was recorded and photographed on scene. After several hours of draining, the east tank oil level was low enough to allow the removal of the manway cover located on the north side of the tank. DT Welding employees removed most of the bolts holding the manway cover in place, but due to the high flammability hazard, CSP hazmat troopers removed the final bolts and cover. Once the cover was removed, 2 troopers donned PPE and entered the tank at approximately 15:45 hours and recovered the body of an adolescent female, and that would be 3:45 p.m. After troopers placed the descendant into a containment pool located directly outside the tank, a Wiggins firefighter and I transferred the body to an area where Chief Deputy Coroner Joy Weiner and forensic pathologist Michael Burson could perform a preliminary examination. At the opening of the tank, I noticed what appeared to be a degloved skin from the descendant's hand and asked one of the troopers to hand it to me. As he did, I noticed the fingernails were still attached. I informed Joy of this and transferred custody of the skin to her. Based on several photos I viewed previously and the information about the girl's bedtime clothing Chris disclosed in his interview, I believe the descendant was Celeste Watts. I assisted Joy in securing the descendant onto a gurney and placing her into the coroner's vehicle. After closing the manway on the east tank, DT welding employees began removing the majority of the bolts from the west tank. The oil from this tank was drained in the same manner as the east tank, excluding the use of the valve located on the south side of the tank. The oil was allowed to drain slowly into the catch pan from the manway door and then evacuated through a strainer. Once the west oil tank was drained and the manway cover was removed, troopers entered the tank at approximately 17:55 hours and recovered the body of an adolescent female. After troopers placed the descendant into a containment pool located directly outside the tank, a CSP trooper and I transferred the body to an area where Chief Deputy Coroner Joy Weiner and forensic pathologist Michael Burson could perform a preliminary examination. Based on several photos I viewed previously and the information about the girl's bedtime clothing that Chris disclosed in his interview, I believe the descendant was Bella Watts. I assisted Joy in securing the descendant onto a gurney and placing her into the coroner's vehicle. Shortly thereafter, Joy and Dr. Burson left the premises en route to the morgue located at the McKee Medical Center. At one point, Anadarko Regional Security Manager Tony Husky arrived at the oil tank site. I spoke with him briefly and provided a copy of the search warrant. Later, I provided him a copy of the inventory list. The scene was released and I cleared at approximately 16:50 hours, nothing further. Detective Dave Baumover, 16:50 hours would be 6:50 p.m. Okay, moving on down, it looks like this is going to be the people of the state of Colorado to any authorized by law to execute a search warrant in the county wherein the property is located. Detective Baumover of the Frederick Police Department, having this date, filed an affidavit for a search warrant in conformity with the provisions of Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, believed to be situated at the place known as Oil Tank Field, identified as Survey 319, GPS coordinates, and it shows where the GPS shows where it's at. And here is some photos, and I'm going to enlarge these so you can see them better, and I hope this is a little better. They are relatively small in the discovery, but I have tried to enlarge them here so you can see them. This is just aerial views of the property and the batteries. With the batteries, you can actually see that Chris has signed them and the time he signed them, showing where he was saying where they were. 5:56 p.m. and as you see, the far left one has a B and the one to the right has a C, and then straight down you'll see the patch of disturbed dirt that has an S. And it reads, "There is probable cause to believe that now located on the property to be searched is certain evidence, to wit, the bodies of Shanann Catherine, Bella Marie, and Celeste Catherine Watts, clothing of descendants, footprints, tools, blood stains, saliva, tissue, and any other material that may contain DNA. Items with blood or DNA evidence, photographs, video recordings, and measurements of footprints, including the taking of on-scene rolled prints of the deceased for identification purposes, and any items which may contain DNA, any items pertaining to transfer of evidence from a vehicle of the oil tanks or shallow grave. Upon one or more grounds as set forth in Rule 41B Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure, namely, 1. Is designed or intended for use, or which is or has been used as a means of committing a criminal offense, or the possession of which is illegal. Number 2 is designed or intended for use, or which is or has been used as a means of committing a criminal offense, or the possession of which is illegal. Number 3 would be material evidence in a subsequent criminal prosecution. The names of persons whose affidavits have been taken in support hereof or Detective Baumhofer, I am satisfied that there is probable cause to believe that the property so described is located on the person, premises, or in the vehicle above described. You are therefore commanded to search forthwith the person, place, or vehicle as described for the property described at any time, day or night. This warrant shall be executed within 14 days of the date the warrant is issued. The return shall be made promptly and shall be accompanied by a written inventory of all property taken. You shall deliver to the person for whom the property is taken or from whose premises or vehicle the property is taken a copy of this warrant together with the receipt for the property taken or in lieu thereof, to leave the copy and receipt at the place from which the property is taken, and to deliver to the issuing judge a written inventory of the property with the return of this warrant, dated on the 15th day of August 2018 at Weld County, Colorado. Judge Julie C. Hoskins. I'm going to stop the reading right here, and I'm going to go ahead and show the relevant photos and video footages and the discovery that goes with the reading that I have just did in this part, which is going to be the Walmart footage and as well as the items discovered, and that was put in the drying lockers and evidence and things of that nature. So I'm going to stop the reading here, and until the rest of the video I will just be showing the cam footages and photos relevant. Until next time, this is Unjustified.
Hi there, this is Officer Perez with the Frederick Police Department. Hey, I'm here just waiting to get let in by one of the lawnmower officers here at the PD. Yes. Awesome, thank you. Bye. Oh, sorry. sorry, it did open. I thought it was a glitch.
Oh, no, they walk at 9 o'clock.
All right.
Do you know where you're going?
No.
No.
Do you know where the evidence room, dry room, to be specific?
Yeah, down here, but let me see if an officer can show you.
Okay. Yeah, that way I'm not. Fair enough. Thank you.
You're with Roger?
Yes. All right, perfect. Thank you. Hey, how's it going? You gonna be my tour? Yeah. Appreciate it.
Well, she might have gone downstairs already. Pretty busy over there, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Johnson?
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Jocelyn? All right. Shake your hand.
Yeah. Good. Not from the...
Just so you're aware. But yeah, that's just it is.
You just need one?
Probably gonna need two,
Okay.
or for sure two, maybe a third.
So we have these two.
All right. Did they say? They said
And
they
then
had three.
you can hang stuff in there.
Oh,
So it doesn't, do you need like
and this is a drywall.
each individual thing by itself, or?
No. It
Okay.
could all go together. Just the big one is gonna be a blanket. I don't know how big it was. So so I don't know if it's gonna fit in that, but
Okay.
I'll get to that point. And,
Okay.
I'll see what they want me to do.
Are any of your partners coming, or
Nope,
just you?
just
Okay. Need some help then?
if you're not busy. Like, it's gonna be a big one.
What up?
What's up? Yeah.
Do you know, I don't know if you would know what our case number on this when we assisted was.
Yours? No.
Chief Actor, can I get a case number? Copy, thank you.
How much of that in the bag? Yeah. So this was gonna be the worst one, smell-wise.
So that one's the one that needs to go by itself?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can just like drape it over this bar.
Yeah, let me see. Hopefully this can put the long. I didn't know there was this much dirt on it.
On a separate bag for the dirt?
No, I'll just throw it on this one. Doesn't matter.
Do you need help?
Let's see. Yeah, just hold the bag, make sure you get some in there. Alright, that should be good enough. There we go. me go ahead and ask just how they want it. I think they were under the impression it was, they were a little bit different. They're like extended, so we can extend this out. So let me make sure if he wants his drape over, because he said not to have it touched so it doesn't mold up.
Oh, I mean, that one.
Yeah. Hey Dave, so on the dry ones, so it's not long enough or it's not big enough for us to extend it the whole way. We can drape it over, but some of it, like towards the bottom, might be touching. I don't know if that's going to affect it at all. Okay, try to extend it out.
Yeah, just try to get it to where it's dry. If you could find something to stick under it to raise it up off the floor, that'd be fine.
Okay, yeah, it might hit the floor, yeah, and then it might, long-wise, it doesn't look like it's going to fit all the way, so the ends might be folded up too.
Okay, yeah, if you could.
I mean, I'll try to prevent as much as possible, but that's going to be, because of the sheets too, it's going to be long.
That's okay, just, if we have to keep it in there an extra day, if they're okay with that, we will, just until it's dry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, they were just, yeah, it was more the impression that way it doesn't get mold up if it crumples in that little thing. All right.
As long as it's not one big ball, it should dry.
Yeah. Okay.
Fans and stuff.
And then with the dirt, did you want me to just put that in the same bag or put that in a different bag?
The dirt?
Yeah.
So the dirt really not that, because we know where she came from. Just anything else on there. Is the dirt falling off?
Yeah. Yeah, once we hang it up. Yeah, but there was like a big lump of dirt, though. There's a huge one. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to keep all of it, some of it.
Yeah, there's quite a bit, and yeah, let's just sweep it up and we'll put it in plastic, a different plastic bag.
Okay. You want that in plastic or in paper also? I'll do paper.
Yeah, paper's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, well, I don't know, because it might get stuff inside the bag, you know? Well,
That's true.
yeah, once the sand is dry, we'll just sweep it up and put it in plastic.
Okay. So you want to put that in,
We'll do that on Monday, so just whatever sand falls off of it, we'll just let it fall off the floor and we'll clean it up.
okay. Because it's quite a bit, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I throw it on the floor, it's quite a bit of dirt that's left on it.
On if you throw it on the floor, what do you mean?
Yeah. Are you saying all the dirt that I collected off of it, if I just throw that on the floor of the room?
Oh, I don't know. If you already collected it, or what you done?
Yeah, I put it in the same bag that was in the sheet.
Oh, yeah.
I was just saying if you wanted to keep it, if you wanted to put it in a different bag, or...
Yeah, just put it in a different bag. We'll put it in a plastic bag, and then we'll put it in, paper bag after everything's dry. But just don't seal the plastic bag. That way it'll dry.
Okay. All right, and then I'll throw it in there as well. All right.
Yeah, that'll work. The dirt's not all that important, but I don't want to make the decision to get rid of it
Yeah.
for any reason.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks. Bye. Yeah, I get specific orders.
You did get specific orders?
No, I had to get exact orders on one. Can't think by myself. All right. So he said just drape it over as much as we can. Which way is the? Okay.
I think that's the whole half of it. I'll let you do the draping.
You guys have hangers in that one too? Okay. good as that one's gonna get.
And that one, does he want the dirt?
Yeah. Do you have a plastic bag? Or we can make one?
I can make you a heat seal bag.
Yeah,
Or
that'd be fine.
one of these.
Oh, this one, just, it's bigger.
How big?
Let's just go right here.
Hopefully it's sealed.
Yeah, I mean, I just want the dirt to dry as well, so I'm gonna throw it in there.
You want the dirt in there to dry?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, So what are we doing?
Throwing this in there.
Okay, so
And-
when we use these, they want everything in paper bags. So if you're putting the dirt in there, you're gonna need to leave it in there.
Okay. Then,
You wanna know?
yeah, I was gonna say, are you okay with us taking some here, paper bag?
Do you
just
want,
throw it in
like,
there.
are you wanting switching bags? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just leave this to the sheet, and then we'll leave that for the dirt.
Do you wanna label this bag?
Yeah. I'll label here. Let me just take a picture of this.
And then, is that bag gonna go
Mhm.
in there with it?
Does it have the number on it? No, so sheet number 7. You have a marker handy?
This one.
Oh, it is just a marker. Great.
Oh, here it is. Did it work?
Yeah, but we'll go with black. Black's always better.
Alright, so is this one good? It doesn't have to get locked, just
I was gonna say, let me
hold it for now.
make sure. Yeah, I think that one should be it. Yeah, I just have to label that somehow, like with the hanger or something, just so it's specific, whoever grabs it, that item goes with that bag. Which, I'm gonna need some of your stuff.
Yeah, this key tab, we can hang it, so if you want to label it with whatever's in it. This can all go in the trash, right?
Yeah. Okay, I should be all done. Thanks. Just hang it. Let's see what else is on here. So it's a shirt and underwear.
You can probably put some toys here, like the shelf might also work through.
there?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. There it goes. Oh, did I need to go? Oh no,
No.
she should be coming through there.
Because it'll take her a little bit to walk.
There she is, right there. Can we stop it? See.
If you,
Oh yeah, we are in reverse.
or someone bought it, maybe.
We don't sell wigs here.
Even costume wise.
They're not out yet.
What'd you say that was?
It's lactose-free milk.
Okay.
But you'll see what it is once it's in there. But
That's
That looks like a loofah, right?
paper. A brush. Looks like razors and stuff from HBA.
HBA pharmacy. Finish and pay. Chip card. Most likely a bank debit card.
Is
Asking
it
for a
pay?
PIN.